Werewolves. They're the monsters we fear in the shadows and admire for their raw, untamed power. But what happens when a werewolf isn't just a beast, but a tortured soul? Today, we're diving into the Gothic horror film, The Wolfman 2010, a movie that isn't the best werewolf story ever told, but one that boasts the best special effects you'll ever see. Stay with me, because this story is about more than monsters. It's about fear, identity, and tragedy, and trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's set the stage. It's 1891. Lawrence Talbot, played by Benicio del Toro, is a man estranged from his family. He's called back home to investigate his brother's brutal murder, only to uncover a deadly curse that will change his life forever. And at the heart of this film? A Wolfman costume that's as much a work of art as it is a storytelling device. But first, let's talk about why this movie feels so unique in the world of werewolf cinema. Gothic horror is all about atmosphere, inner demons, and a relentless sense of doom. Think sprawling mansions, shadowy forests, and tragic characters trapped by fate. The Wolfman 2010 leans into this style with everything it's got. The Talbot estate, for instance, is more than a house, it's a crumbling monument to pain and isolation. Every shot of this film oozes dread, from the haunting fog that creeps across the moors to the cold, desaturated color palette that makes every scene feel like an old photograph brought to life. And then there's the Wolfman himself. Unlike traditional werewolves that are full wolf, the Wolfman is something else entirely. He's caught in the middle, a tragic half-man, half-beast who can't belong anywhere. Back in 1941, makeup artist Jack Pierce set the standard with his iconic design, prosthetics, yak hair, and a look that screamed tragedy and terror. Fast forward nearly 70 years, and Rick Baker, the king of werewolf effects, was brought on to reimagine this creature for modern audiences. And, oh boy, did he deliver. Rick Baker's Wolfman is incredible because it doesn't just look scary, it feels human. The fur, the fangs, the claws, every detail screams pain and loss. And it's not just about looking cool. This design captures the soul of the character. Lawrence isn't just turning into a monster. He's losing himself, piece by piece. Every time he transforms, he's reminded of what he's becoming and what he's losing. And speaking of transformations, we can't talk about the Wolfman without discussing one of the most gut-wrenching parts of werewolf lore, the change itself. In this film, it's brutal. Bones crack, muscles tear, and it's not quick or clean. It's painful to watch, and that's the point. You feel every ounce of Lawrence's suffering. But here's the kicker, much of this transformation is CGI. Now, I know what you're thinking. CGI can be a deal breaker, right? And, yeah, it's not perfect here. Rick Baker's stunning practical effects are only used sparingly, which is honestly a tragedy. The CGI, while ambitious, doesn't always blend seamlessly with the film's eerie atmosphere. But when the practical effects do make an appearance, wow! They steal the show. Rick Baker's contributions to werewolf cinema are legendary. From An American Werewolf in London to The Wolfman, his work has always been about more than just creating monsters. It's about telling a story. And in this case, the story is one of loneliness and despair. The Wolfman isn't just scary because he's strong or vicious. He's scary because he's trapped. He can't go back to being human, and he can't fully become an animal. He's stuck in this horrifying in-between, and that's what makes him unforgettable. At its core, the Wolfman isn't just a creature feature. It's a Gothic tragedy. It's about loss, identity, and the darkness that can consume us all. And while the movie itself might not be perfect, the pacing can drag, and the CGI can be distracting, it's a film that lingers with you. And a huge part of it is thanks to Rick Baker's masterful design. He brought the Wolfman to life in a way that feels raw and real, even in a world full of shadows and fog. So, here's my challenge to you. If you haven't seen The Wolfman 2010, give it a watch. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's a movie that understands the power of a good monster. It'll make you feel the weight of its tragedy and leave you in awe of its visuals. And if you're already a fan, let me know in the comments what you think about Rick Baker's design. Does it hold up? Or does the CGI take you out of the experience? Let's talk about it. Until next time, stay curious, and beware the full moon.